You've been doing what you were told to do. Showing up early, staying late, putting in the effort, and yet something feels off. You work hard, but progress feels slow. You try harder, but life doesn't seem to move with you. And quietly, a question starts to form in your mind. Why isn't this working? It's not that you're lazy. It's not that you lack discipline, and it's not that you didn't try hard enough. The truth is more uncomfortable and more freeing. The rules you're playing by no longer reward effort the way they used to. The game has changed, but no one told you. In this video, we're going to walk through that realization step by step. Not to blame the world, not to blame yourself, but to understand why hard work alone stopped being enough and what actually matters now. Let's start at the beginning. At some point, you notice something strange. You're busy all the time, but not really moving forward. Your days are full, your to-do list never ends, yet the results don't match the effort. You look around and see people who seem ahead, not necessarily smarter, not necessarily working harder, but somehow progressing faster. That's when doubt quietly creeps in. You start asking yourself if you're missing something. If you're falling behind, if maybe you waited too long or chose the wrong path. But here's the part no one tells you. Being busy is not the same as building momentum. Effort without direction turns into exhaustion. You've been running, not because you're weak, but because you were taught that constant motion meant progress. This chapter isn't about stopping. It's about realizing that working harder inside the wrong system only makes you tired, not fulfilled. And once you see that, you're ready to question the rules you've been following. For a long time, hard work had a clear promise. Do more, sacrifice more, and eventually you'll be rewarded. But slowly that promise stopped matching reality. You watch effort turn into stress, loyalty turn into silence, and patience turn into waiting with nothing to show for it. The system didn't break overnight, it shifted quietly. Technology sped things up. Expectations multiplied, and the finish line kept moving further away. So you adapted the only way you knew how, by pushing harder. More hours, more pressure, less rest. But the problem was never your willingness to work. It was that effort stopped being the main currency. Visibility, timing, leverage, and clarity began to matter more than sheer effort alone. And when you don't know that the rules changed, you keep blaming yourself instead of questioning the game. This is where frustration turns into awareness. And awareness is the first real turning point. When effort stops paying off, something deeper starts to happen. It's not just frustration, it's confusion. You begin to doubt your instincts, your choices, even your value. You tell yourself to stay patient, to stay grateful, to keep going. But inside, the motivation that once felt natural now feels forced. That's because burnout doesn't always come from doing too much. It comes from doing the wrong things for too long. Working harder without progress slowly erodes trust in yourself. You start measuring your worth by output, even when the output no longer leads anywhere. And the most dangerous part? You normalize the exhaustion. You call it adulthood, you call it responsibility, but deep down you know something isn't right. This isn't a lack of strength, it's a signal that effort alone isn't the answer anymore, and that continuing the same way will only cost you more than it gives. Eventually, you reach a quiet realization. The problem isn't that you need to try harder, it's that you need to try differently. You start paying attention to where your effort actually goes, what moves things forward, and what only keeps you busy. You notice that progress now favors focus over force, clarity over chaos, direction over endurance. This is where the story changes. Instead of asking, how much more can I do, you begin asking, what actually matters? You stop chasing everything. You stop proving yourself to systems that don't reward loyalty. You stop confusing movement with meaning. And slowly, the pressure lifts, not because life got easier, but because your effort finally has a destination. This isn't about quitting, it's about choosing where your energy belongs. And once that choice becomes clear, hard work starts to work again, but in a completely different way. The shift doesn't happen all at once. It happens quietly. You begin to protect your time. You choose depth over noise. You invest your effort where it can actually grow. You stop racing against other people's timelines and start listening to your own pace. Hard work doesn't disappear, it becomes intentional. You work with awareness instead of anxiety, with purpose instead of pressure. And something changes, not overnight, not dramatically, but steadily. Your confidence returns, not because you're doing more, but because what you're doing finally makes sense. You realize that falling behind was never the problem. You were simply playing by rules that no longer fit your life. When effort aligns with clarity, progress stops feeling forced, and for the first time in a long while, your work doesn't drain you, it moves you forward. If hard work hasn't been working for you lately, it doesn't mean you failed. It means you've outgrown the rules you were given. Effort still matters, but only when it's aligned with direction, with clarity, with a system that actually rewards it. The moment you stop blaming yourself and start questioning where your energy is going, everything begins to shift. Not faster, but wiser. You don't need to do more. You need to do what actually moves your life forward. And that realization alone can save you years of exhaustion, self-doubt, and silent frustration. So take a breath, reassess the game you're playing, and remember, hard work isn't broken. It just needs purpose again.